Windows is a collection of programs known as an operating system, OS, that controls a PC, personal computer. First produced by Microsoft in November 1985, it has been frequently updated since, as computer memory has got bigger, as processing chips have got faster and, of course, when the Internet was invented. Prior to Windows, PCs were operated by a series of text commands. Windows key benefits and features. Allows the user to interact with the computer, through the keyboard, mouse, microphone, etc. Controls the storage of data, images, files, music. Controls hardware attached to the computer such as webcams, scanners, and printers. Helps to open and close programs, word processors, games, photo editors, etc., and gives them part of the computer's memory to allow them to work. Controls what access to a computer different users have and the computer's security. Deals with errors and user instructions, and issues simple error messages. Promotes multitasking by allowing the user to do several things on the computer at once, for example, watch a video while writing a letter. Other operating systems are available, notably the Apple OS X used in Mac computers. In addition, with the increased use of smartphones, notepads, and tablets, there are systems aimed directly at mobile devices. However, most people who learn to use computers do so on a system running Windows. What is Windows? Windows is an operating system designed by Microsoft. The operating system is what allows you to use a computer. Windows comes preloaded on most new personal computers, PCs, which helps to make it the most popular operating system in the world. Windows makes it possible to complete all types of everyday tasks on your computer. For example, you can use Windows to browse the internet, check your email, edit digital photos, listen to music, play games, and do much more. Windows is a graphical operating system developed by Microsoft. It allows users to view and store files, run the software, play games, watch videos, and provides a way to connect to the internet. It was released for both home computing and professional works. Microsoft introduced the first version as 1.0. It was released for both home computing and professional functions of Windows on November 10, 1983. Later, it was released on many versions of Windows as well as the current version, Windows 10. In 1993, the first business-oriented version of Windows was released, which is known as Windows NT 3.1. Then it introduced the next versions, Windows 3.5, 4/0, and Windows 2000. When the XP Windows was released by Microsoft in 2001, the company designed its various versions for a personal and business environment. It was designed based on standard x86 hardware like Intel and AMD processor. Accordingly, it can run on different brands of hardware, such as HP, Dell, and Sony computers, including home-built PCs. Editions of Windows. Microsoft has produced several editions of Windows, starting with Windows XP. These versions have the same core operating system, but some versions included advanced features with an additional cost. There are two most common editions of Windows. Windows Home. Windows Professional. Windows Home. Windows Home is basic edition of Windows. It offers all the fundamental functions of Windows, such as browsing the web, connecting to the internet, playing video games, using Office software, watching videos. Furthermore, it is less expensive and comes pre-installed with many new computers. Windows Professional. Windows Professional is also known as Windows Pro or WinPro. It is an enhanced edition of Windows, which is beneficial for power users and small to medium-sized businesses. It contains all features of Windows Home as well as the following. Remote Desktop. Windows Professional editions allow users to create a remote desktop connection. It provides users the option to connect with another computer remotely, including share the control of its mouse, keyboard, and view display. It is mainly accessed with the help of port 3389. Additionally, We can also use the TeamViewer or VNC application to create a remote desktop connection. Trusted Boot, it provides security as encrypting to the bootloader and protects the computer from rootkits, collection of software tools that allow users to enter another computer through an unauthorized way known as rootkits. BitLocker, it allows users to encrypt a storage drive by using AES, Advanced Encryption Standard, algorithm. This feature is present in Windows 7, and Windows Vista, only Ultimate and Enterprise versions, including Windows Server 2008. Business laptops or computers mainly use the BitLocker feature to protect their data on the computer. As if your computer has been stolen, it is very difficult to break the BitLocker password. It can be unlocked by entering the correct password only. Furthermore, if you forget your BitLocker password, it cannot be retrieved. Windows Sandbox, a sandbox is located on a computer, network, or an online service enables users to experiment or test computer security without interrupting the system. Hyper-V, it stands for a hypervisor, and developed by Microsoft Corporation on June 26, 2008. It is also called Windows Server Virtualization. Hyper-V is used for virtualization of x86-64 servers, running virtual machines and third-party software like VirtualBox. Group Policy Management, an admin can specify group policies in an organization to manage different Windows users. It provides support for the systems that have more than 128 GB of RAM. Furthermore, it also offers more Windows Update installation options as well as flexible scheduling and postponement around 34 days. Why is Microsoft Windows called Windows? When Microsoft Windows was not introduced, all of the Microsoft users were used MS-DOS operating system. Microsoft gave one word to most of its products. It required a new word that can represent its new GUI operating system. Microsoft decided to call it Windows because it has the ability to perform several tasks and run applications simultaneously. Another reason behind calling it Windows was that you could not trademark a common name like Windows. Its official name was Microsoft Windows. The first version 1.0 of Windows was introduced in 1995. History of Microsoft Windows. Since 1983, Microsoft is producing Windows. The founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates, announced for Microsoft Windows on November 10, 1983 and released the first version of Windows in 1985. The following table contains history of Windows from edition 1 to 10. Windows 1.0. Microsoft introduced Windows with its first version 1.0. It was released on November 20, 1985, and at the beginning, it was sold for $100. Additionally, it was the first effort by Microsoft to produce a graphical user interface in 16-bit. Windows 2.0. The second version, Windows 2.0, was produced by Microsoft on December 9, 1987, as well as it also introduced the Windows 386 on the same day. Initially, the price was the same $100 for both of the Windows in the market. It came with new features such as it was able to overlap each other, and it also introduced the new way to maximize and minimize the window, instead of using zooming and iconizing respectively. Furthermore, it also included the control panel feature where several system settings and configuration options are available in one place. Even Microsoft Word and Excel were also used for the first time on Windows 2. Windows 286. It was released in June 1988, and at the beginning, its price was $100. Windows 3.0. It was the first Windows that needed a hard drive. It was launched by Microsoft on May 22, 1990. Its full version was sold for $149.95, and the updated version was $79.95. Additionally, the multimedia-supported Windows 3 was introduced in October 1991. Windows version 3.0 gained more success, and it became a challenge for Apple's Macintosh and the Commodore Amiga GUI as it was provided pre-installed on computers by PC-compatible manufacturers as well as Zenith Data Systems. It was also able to run the MS-DOS program in Windows that allowed multitasking in legacy programs as well as supported 256 colors, which made the interface more colorful and advanced. Windows 3.1. It was launched in April 1992, when it was in development its code name was Sparta. It was the commonly used operating system for the PC graphical user interface. In the first 2 months after its release, more than 1 million copies were sold. It made the Windows usable publishing platform for the first time by introducing the TrueType fonts. Minesweeper was also used for the first time on the Windows 3.1. It was needed only 1 MB of RAM to run, and it allowed users to control the MS-DOS programs with the help of a mouse for the first time. Furthermore, it was also the first operating system to be distributed on a CD-ROM. Some other generations of version 3.1 are as follows. In 1992, the Windows for Workgroups 3.1 was launched. Microsoft introduced Windows NT 3.1 on July 27, 1993. An updated version of Windows 3.1, Windows 3.11, was introduced on December 31, 1993. In February 1994, the Windows for Workgroups 3.11 was launched. On September 21, 1994, the Windows NT 5 was introduced. The next version, Windows NT 3.51, was introduced on May 30, 1995. Windows 95, as the name specifies, Windows 95 was launched on August 24, 1995, and within 4 days of its release, more than 1 million copies were sold. It introduced the Start button and Start menu features for the first time, including important features such as a 32-bit environment, multitasking, and taskbar. Furthermore, MS-DOS still played a vital role in Windows 95, with the help of some programs and elements. Internet Explorer was also used on the Windows 95 for the first time, but it could not be installed by default. It needed the Windows 95 Plus pack for it. Later, Windows 95 improved and included the IE browser by default. Windows 95 Service Packet was introduced on February 24, 1996. Windows NT 4.0 on July 29, 1996, Windows NT 4.0 was launched. Windows CE. The first version 0 of Windows CE was introduced in November 1996. The second version 0 of Windows CE was launched in November 1997. The next version 1 of Windows CE was released in July 1998. The third version, 3.0 of Windows CE, was introduced in 1999. Windows 98. It was developed on Windows 95, and introduced in June 1998. It was released, including Internet Explorer 4, Windows Address Book, Outlook Express, Microsoft Chat, and NetShow Player. The second version of Windows 98 was introduced on May 5, 1999. In this version, the NetShow Player was replaced by Windows Media Player 6.2. It was also brought with the address bar and \forward navigation buttons in Windows Explorer, and more other features. Windows 98 came with the new feature Windows Driver Model for computer components and accessories, which offered support to all future editions of Windows. Furthermore, it was improved USB support including USB mice and USB hubs. Windows 2000. On February 17, 2000, it was launched. Windows Me. It was invented in September 2000, and it was the last operating system, which was based on MS-DOS and in the Windows 9X line. According to the enterprise market, it was considered consumer-aimed Windows with the Windows 2000. It was also provided some useful features for consumers as well as more automated system recovery tools. Additionally, an Internet Explorer, Windows Movie Maker, and Windows Media Player 7 were used on Windows Me for the first time. Windows 2000. It was introduced on February 17, 2000. Basically, it was based on Microsoft business-oriented system Windows NT, and later it provided the base for the Windows XP. Furthermore, the automatic updating feature made their appearance for the first time on Windows 2000, and it was the first operating system to support hibernation. Windows XP was considered the best edition of Windows. It was introduced on October 25, 2001. It followed Windows ME and provided consumer-friendly elements. The 64-bit version of Windows XP was introduced on March 28, 2003. Furthermore, its professional x64 version was introduced on April 24, 2005. The Start button and taskbar were replaced by including the green Start button, blue taskbar, and Vista wallpaper, as well as several shadows and more visual effects. It also brought some important features, such as ClearType, which helps to read content on LCD screens, autoplay from CDs and other media, different automated update, and recovery tools. Additionally, it was used for the longest time, and even when it was discontinued, it was used at an estimated 430 MPC. Windows Vista. It was introduced by Microsoft in January 2007. It was brought the better look and feel user interface and included transparent elements, security, and search. When it was in the development phase, its code name was Longhorn. Windows Media Player 11 and Internet Explorer 7 were made their appearance for the first time on Windows Vista, included Windows Defender, an anti-spyware program. It was also provided some useful features such as Windows DVD Maker, speech recognition, and photo gallery. Furthermore, it was the first operating system to be distributed on DVD. Windows Server 2008. On February 27, 2008, Microsoft introduced Windows Server 2008. Windows 7. It was introduced on October 22, 2009 to overcome all problems that were faced by Windows Vista. It was released with user-friendly features and less dialog box overload. It was more stable, faster, and easy to use as compared to release other previous versions. Additionally, the handwriting recognition feature was used for the first time on Windows 7. As IE was the default browser in Microsoft Windows, the antitrust investigations used Microsoft in Europe for making it a default browser. Consequently, it had to provide the users the option to choose and install the browser on the first boot. Windows Server 2012. On September 4, 2012, Microsoft was released Windows Server 2012. Windows 8. It was introduced by Microsoft on October 26, 2012. It was released with new features, such as a fast operating system, support for the USB 3.0 devices, and Web Store. The Web Store is a place where you can download different types of Windows applications. Its full screen mode was run for the first time on Windows 8. Windows 8.1. It was launched by Microsoft on October 17, 2013. It was relaunched the Start button, which was able to display the Start screen from the desktop view of Windows 8.1. Furthermore, it provided a way to select boot directly into the desktop. Windows 10. On July 29, 2015, Microsoft introduced Windows 10. It was released with some new features such as switching between a keyboard and mouse mode and a tablet mode, which was beneficial for the users who use computers like Surface Pro 3 with a detachable keyboard. It was designed for all Windows platforms across several devices, as well as Windows tablets and phones, including common applications. Microsoft announced released Windows 11 on October 5, 2021. Officially announced on June 24, 2021, Microsoft Windows 11 is the latest version of the Microsoft Windows operating system released on October 5, 2021. Features of Windows. Microsoft Windows includes a lot of features to help users. Some of its excellent features are as follows. Control Panel. Windows provides a control panel feature that includes many tools to configure and manage the resources on their computer. For example, users can change settings for audio, video, printers, mouse, keyboard, network connections, date and time, power saving options, user accounts, installed applications, etc. Cortana, Windows 10 introduced a feature named Cortana, which is able to accept voice commands. It can perform various tasks such as it can answer your questions, search data on your computer, online purchases, set reminders and appointments, etc. Furthermore, it acts like other voice-activated services such as Google Assistant, Alexa, or Siri, including one more benefit of searching the information on your computer. To open the Cortana in Windows 10, press Window key plus S. File Explorer, it is also known as Windows Explorer, which displays your files and folders on the computer. It allows users to browse the data on the hard drive, SSD, and other inserted removable disks like pen drives and CDs, and you can manage the content according to the requirements such as delete, rename, search, and transfer the data. Internet Browser, as the Internet browser is very important to search for anything, view pages, online shopping, play games, watch videos, etc. Windows come with a pre-installed Internet browser. In Windows 10, the Edge Internet browser is the default browser. Furthermore, Internet Explorer was the default browser in Microsoft Windows from the Windows Edition 95 to 8.1 version. Microsoft Paint, since November 1985, Microsoft Windows comes with pre-installed Microsoft Paint. It is a simple software to create, view, and edit an image. It offers several tools to draw an image, crop, resize, and save an image with a different file extension. Taskbar, Windows comes with a taskbar that displays currently opened programs. It also allows users to access any specific programs. Additionally, it includes the notification area on the right side that shows date and time, battery, network, volume, and other background running applications. Start menu, Microsoft Windows contains a start menu to the left side of the taskbar. It displays programs and utilities that are installed on the computer. It can be simply opened by clicking on the Start menu button or pressing the Start key on the keyboard. Task Manager, Windows includes the Task Manager feature that provides detail of the running applications or programs on the computer. You can also check how much of the system resources, such as RAM, CPU, disk I/O, are being used by each of the applications. Disk Cleanup, it is used to free up disk space with the help of deleting temporary or unnecessary files. It also helps to enhance the performance of the computer, and boost storage space to download the programs and documents. To open Disk Cleanup, follow the below steps. Open the File Explorer by pressing Window plus E. Then, right-click on any disk drive and select Properties option from the drop-down list. Now, click on the Disk Cleanup. Thank you for being with us. Please subscribe and watch other videos from here.